What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment, IG, TikTok, bottom video, and we're gonna hop right into it. So today we will be talking about chicken peas. So couple people watching my other video with this news and things of that sort. So obviously I want to give y'all an update video on where we at today. So if you haven't been following Chicken P for the last couple years, Chicken P was already in jail on. He was already in jail, serving 6 years on firearm and drug charges. 3 years in prison, 3 years on probation. While he was serving the sentence already, he then was indicted on grape charges. So this story has went for a loop, and I especially want to talk about this part because I got some info I just want to talk about. If you watch my old video, then you remember there was a story that came out that potentially it seems like this story is true at this point with what the news that we've gotten, but potentially that the victim of the grape was lying about the incident. The story was, so go back, they said Phillips may have lied about the incident after an alleged payment dispute. According to those claims, she believed she was owed $3,000 for an unknown service, but allegedly received only $300. Hotel customers also allegedly claimed that they heard her arguing before Chicken P kicked Phillips out of the room. He was later charged in connection with the case. So I stated this in my last video. I always thought what I thought was fishy here was them not being able to specify what service she was supposed to provide. I say this to preface this because I said in the last video, before the update, if this is true, he had raped her, then yes, throw the nigga in the jail. But if she's lying, she ain't shit. So the reason I said if she was lying and this was a service, this service can't be documented, I was like, that kind of sounds like, no disrespect, she might be a streetwalker, a lady of the night. Because for the simple fact is, I feel like if it was a service, say, he was getting a retwist, or I don't know, nigga was in the paws and the facials, esthetician, something like that. Why can't you, specify that service? And the 3,000 would be easier to document and take him through court for, because you'll be able to specify, like, I charge this for this, for that. If this was some type of service, like hair, nails, like that, regular shit. But the fact that we can't specify it, and it's such a big gap in the payment dispute, and the fact that he's having a payment dispute with you, then yeah, that's why I was like, it led me to believe she was a lady of night and things of that sort. All that to say is, this woman, yes, the actual Aaliyah Phillips that is actually hopped in my DMs. Yes, hopped in my DMs talking crazy. Now I ain't gonna put the DM in there and put an Instagram because all that. But actually, I should put it. I'll put a DM, blank out what she said, but I'll make so y'all know that it was her. But basically, she was like, "I'm gonna sue you for defamation and yada yada yada. You spreading lies and things of that sort." My thing is, one, I didn't respond because I knew she was on bullshit. Because one, I'm not that big of a creator. I mean, I can understand, sometimes my videos do good numbers, but at this moment, I'm not that big of a creator. So, one, you might have been just searching up his name and found that. Two, I never defamed her because I said in this whole video, the last video, if you watched it, I always said, we don't know what really happened. We won't dare. I said, if this had happened, then yeah, throw him under jail. And if it's not that, then that. I never, went one way and just was like, oh, she's lying because I said I wasn't there. So that's why I really ain't taking time out. But again, don't want to say she lying because they could have dropped it. Because the update we have given is that they dropped his grape charges. So he was scheduled for trial on August 31st. Today's the 21st, so 10 days. That's next Monday, I want to say. They've dropped it. Now, I don't know if they dropped it. I have to go look into lack of evidence, things of that sort. But they have dropped his charges. So he will not be fighting that. And he will, just finish the remainder of his sentence on those firearm and drug charges. So, again, not trying to say she lying because I don't know exactly why they dropped it at this moment in time. But it don't look too good for Shawty. I ain't gonna lie. It don't look too good. It's point is your story. I'm just saying. Because the evidence made it look crazy. And it just don't look good. Now, also I want to talk about Um, Another platform was trying to accuse that, saying that Chicken P pled guilty in this case, and that's just not true. So the paperwork that they provided, if you do read the thing, the paperwork they have provided doesn't say anything about him pleading guilty. So if you read it here, we can start from the bottom just because it's in chronological order from that direction. Pre-trial conference held with the prosecutor, yada yada yada. The defendant's oral motion to continue the pre-trial to allow more time for plea negotiations is granted. That was on July 16th. We have another one that says defendant's oral motion to continue the pre-trial to allow more time for plea negotiation is granted. That was on August 5th. On the 12th, the defendant's oral motion to continue the pre-trial to allow more for plea negotiations is granted. That was August 12th. And it says the oral motion to reschedule the August 18th, 2026 change of plea hearing because his lawyer is engaged, blah, blah, blah. Nowhere on this paperwork that they provided did they say that he actually pled guilty for his case. It just says continuation, and then we got other news from, more reliable sources that, the charges have been dropped. So at this moment in time, I will believe that the charges have been dropped and not that other source, because that other source seems to have maybe a horse in the race. And, if you're going to be media, you have to be unbiased at certain points. But, yeah. So, looking right now, Chicken P, we just served the remainder of his sentence to come out of jail. And, we'll see what the music and stuff is like from there. And, for other people, don't be hopping in my DMs with that BS, because obviously you won't listen. But that's all I got to say, though. Like, share, subscribe, comment. IG, check that bottom video, and we out.